If you are seeing this video footage, if you are a person in the future who is watching this as a YouTube video, if you're seeing this, that means that everything worked out. Future me might be able to look back on all of this and see some meaning in it and see how it all worked out and see that it was all for the best. So welcome. What is my intro? What are words? How do I talk? Hello there, my parasocial pals, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining us. My name is ChloeThePayne, and I have no idea what I'm doing. Greetings to you and yours. It's been a minute. The moral of the story is that it's recording, and that has to be enough sometimes. Okie dokie is recording. Maybe this is a dumb idea. Today, a video that I may not post. Maybe this is just a video journal. Maybe this is just a diaristic moment. I am, when I go on my silly little walks for my silly little mental health. All right, Chloe. All right, you crazy Chloe, you. Why hello again, Chloe. Funny running into you here. Let's go for a walk and surely solve all of our problems by going on a walk. I am not going to go into the specifics here in this video, but suffice it to say, I've been going through it. I get the impression that a lot of us are going through it. I'm so tired. How are you? How is your October going? I need to sleep. I need to sleep, and I should probably start trying to do less. You know how sometimes things get bad enough that they just sort of like reach a peak where like the build up to it is like, oh man, I'm getting progressively more and more stressed. I'm getting progressively more and more sad or upset or confused or whatever the crisis is, whatever the emotions that are associated with the crisis are. The emotions build and build and build, and then it reaches kind of a tipping point where things get bad enough where you just have to laugh. There's just no other response but to laugh and just say, of course that would happen. Of course that would happen. Why wouldn't that happen? So it's kind of nice. I've broken my seal, I feel like. I'm past the point of no return in terms of just like, you know what, things can really only get better from here. It feels like this has all changed pretty quickly. There's one way in which I look at these feelings and it seems like I am now ready to give up on everything, and that seems abrupt and unfair and unreasonable and questionable. By another standard, man, it definitely just feels like, nah, this is a long time coming. The topic of like what to do with your time on this earth that you have to spend making a living. How do you figure that out? How do you figure out how to not be miserable at it? How do you figure out what makes it meaningful for you? Lots of people struggle with this. Lots of people reflect on this. Lots of people have a journey of ups and downs regarding this topic. So I'm stressed. So I think I'm going to just go la la la, I can't hear you, to drown out the doubting voices that I have in my head. I am not the slave to a goals master who's gonna fire me or yell at me if I don't accomplish a certain thing in a certain way. I get to decide what my goals are and how I work towards them. Is what I'm trying to convince myself. Making choices. I feel like I'm making choices because I have to. I don't necessarily have the luxury of time to sit and consider how I might hypothetically make them in an ideal scenario. I just gotta make them. I'm very grateful to past me for getting me this far. I apologize in advance if I let past me down by thwarting all the effort they put in. Not sure why I'm recording this, probably just because it feels like a surreal moment, but welcome to footage that may not ever see the light of day. This is everything I own. The U-Haul is gonna be here in about a half hour. All right, let's put this existential crisis on the internet, shall we? Future me will figure out what to do next once I'm there. I'll make it that far. Just feel crazy. I feel bonkers, crazy, insane, mad. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. Deep down, existential, bone-weary, fatigued. And there's not a lot I can do about that right now because I just gotta keep going. It doesn't help that I have just constantly right now, I have Granger Danger stuck in my head, and I'm just singing in my head, falling in love, falling in love. I am processing. I am struggling to catch up with everything that is happening. I don't want to dread the future so much. I feel like I am failing at everything. No arena in which things are going well. I feel bad. I don't feel good. I feel guilty and worried and selfish and sad. I feel not great, Bob. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this anymore. I resent having to work so hard just to survive, and it makes me feel bad that all of my time and energy has to be put into just my own putting one foot in front of the other and fucking surviving. It feels like I have nothing to give to anyone else. Oh, God. When I see beautiful cherry blossoms on a tree, and it makes me heave a disgruntled sigh because it means that time is passing before I'm ready for it to be passing. Gross. Spring is approaching. I hate that for me. Being mad at daffodils. No, daffodils, you don't understand. You're not allowed to show up yet because I told myself I would have my shit figured out before the winter ended. I wonder how future Chloe is going to feel reflecting on all of this. I think I, in some ways, look forward to being future Chloe, and in some ways, I do not envy that guy. Man, I don't envy that guy. It is validating to see ideas like that one Instagram post that I screenshotted that talked about, you know what's a perfectly valid flavor of bisexuality is maybe you only have romantic attraction in one direction, but an attraction in another direction is just purely sexual. You know, if it's getting easier lately to stop denying thoughts that have always been in my head ever since I was a kid, along the lines of like, man, I wish I could grow facial hair. Man, I wish I had a deeper voice. Those thoughts have always been there. The newer stuff that just makes it a lot easier to sort of put the pieces together are definitely related to perception, how other people see me and how I am impacted by the ways in which other people see me, how it makes me feel to be perceived a certain way. That's what it is. It's the known. It's the being known. I'm less surrounded right now by people who have known me for a long time. And it's a bit of a rude awakening. It's a bit of a whiplash to be reminded of how I come across to others who haven't been around me for a long time. Other people look at me and they see she, her. And that's just a bit jarring. And so then that gives you room to consider, why is that jarring for me? And what might I want to do about it? You know, everything that I've said the last few years about not getting back into theater, of course, it had a lot to do with COVID safety. But I'm also now having a lot to think about in terms of, God, do I really want to go into auditions and sing soprano parts? Do I really want to go into auditions and try to get roles that are about being like a mom or a sister or a daughter? The answer is no. I want to be in roles where gender just kind of isn't a topic. Or, God forbid, I want to be Jim from The Gift of the Magi in VHS Christmas Carols. My theory of it at the time was this isn't going to be too extreme. It's not like I'm going to start wanting to change things about my appearance that would maybe let people know to not use she, her pronouns towards me. I know privately that I am they, them. When other people just don't happen to know that about me, those are the scenarios in which I'm going to get she, heard, and that's just going to be fine. That's just going to be fine. That's just going to be par for the course. That's what I'm used to. It's just going to get to make me happy then when I'm in settings where I get they, them. It's going to be a bonus. It's going to be a cherry on top of a perfectly fine Gender Sunday. They them feels so right. They them feels very me. And when I get she heard, as I will always continue to do because that's surely just inevitable and I should settle for it. When I get she heard, that's just, fine. It doesn't spark joy, but it's fine. And then the he him instances, those very few times that would happen, those instances elated me. Sir, or he him, fills me with joy. And I can't really ignore that. That's an impulse to listen to. I don't really want to change my name. I like my name. I like my name a lot. Even if I looked more masculine, or if I sounded more masculine, it would be interesting to have my name, Chloe, associated with a more masculine presentation. I really like that potential. This is interesting, Chloe. Interesting. What is that old meme from like Knives Out, I think, of the detective being like, compels me though. I don't know what this Chloe is trying to do. Compels me though. Very interesting. You're doing something interesting there, Chloe. Chloe, you're a few blocks away from the apartment. What have we learned? What have we learned from all this? I'm back to the apartment, and for what? I've made it back home, and for why? Crazy how none of these walks end up solving all my problems. My life is never ultimately figured out by the time I get back from one of these walks. I wonder what that's all about. What more is there to be gained from one more loop around the block? Is the question. Maybe these next 200 feet will fix me. I don't know, Chloe. I don't know. You just gotta keep going. But maybe also going on a walk like this and feeling so big and everything is so overwhelming, and to just go on a walk like this and feel like, well, there's nothing to really say about it. It's just what it is. I guess that's kind of comforting. Like there's no magic word for right now. There's no way to make this any easier. It's just gotta get survived. I don't want to do tomorrow, but I really do think it's possible, not even just possible, it is likely. One might even call it inevitable. Inevitable. It is inevitable that I will slowly feel more like myself if I can just do my best to take care of myself. I love you, Chloe. I know you're doing your best. Keep on going. When I'm in those team meetings, I'm definitely always putting up a front of put-togetherness and being someone who is calm, cool, and collected and has their shit together. Being my charming self in that meeting just now, like, it was that nice little feeling of being reminded that I'm cool, being reminded that I am attractive, that I'm funny, that I am charming, that I'm capable. Something about that just really clunked a deadbolt into place inside of me of like, oh, I want to be that person more. Oh, I can really feel tension like oozing out of my body. Like, this feels good to be thinking about. Damn, do I feel not just less stressed, but possibly even good? Dare I say, I feel good? I still feel like a overwhelmed, exhausted, sensory overload toddler. This has been a fun day, but I'm moments away from having a tantrum at the ice cream shop. So you better take me home. It's just a continuation that has been bouncing around in my head for months now, which is just, I can't believe everything that's happening. I can't believe that this is my life. I can't believe this is where I am. I can't believe this is what I'm doing. Everything is unbelievable. Every moment of every day fills me with a sense of like, Jesus Christ, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe this is my life. I can't believe this is where I am and what I'm doing and who I'm talking to and what I'm focusing on. I'm still reeling from all of that. So it feels really difficult to land on any sense of, oh, okay, so let's also like start planning some goals. Bedtime revenge, creativity procrastination against my better judgment. Yeah, you could go to sleep at a decent hour, or you could stay up until 2 a.m. feverishly having fun, cackling, making a YouTube video. Which one will make you feel better in the morning? I have unexpectedly been bit by sort of a creative bug. I think I want to try to put together a YouTube video about all the bullshit. I think it'll help me feel not like this chapter is over, but that it is at least something that I've like addressed to myself, as opposed to just like kind of having been in denial. Plain old cringe, just cringe, cringe, cringe. It feels really silly to consider making this video, but I know that it's gonna help the part of my brain that craves narrative structure. You know, if I were watching a YouTube video of a person going through this experience, it would feel easier to be optimistic about that person's chances in life. So I think I'm also just kind of distancing myself from everything that's happening right now. I like videos like this, so maybe I'm just gonna upload this and it will be something helpful for my own brain. Just try it, Chloe, just try it. You don't have to post it if you end up not feeling up to the task of posting it. Just try. It's gonna help me feel like I can look at the character of Chloe on the page in the editing software and say to myself, oh, okay, well, they're gonna be all right, because the whole experience was summed up in music that like ended on a hopeful note. So you can't argue with the major chords. You can't argue with with music theory. You can't argue with a piece of music that makes you feel like, oh, everything's gonna be okay. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Compels me, though. Alright, this is us testing. Here's Chloe looking at the lens. Am I kind of centered? Oh, there's a bird outside. Hello, how are you? I'm centered. I'm focused. I'm centered both in the frame and also centered internally in terms of what I'm doing. My commitment to this course of action. Yep, that's just what my hair looks like today, so that's gonna have to do. There are airplanes. Airplanes pass by overhead sometimes, so if there's airplane noise at any point, I apologize and thank you for bearing with me. The answer is to just start. That's the answer. How much cringe and self-doubt can one person experience? A valid scientific inquiry to try. Unprecedented levels of cringe and self-doubt. Hello there, welcome to the next part of the video. It's been so long. Was the last, I was trying to do Vlogtober when life started happening. It's been almost like 8 months-ish. I considered not doing like a talking portion of this video. I mean, I considered many different iterations of how to do this video, up to and including not doing the video at all, up to and including never doing YouTube again. In the end, I did decide that I wanted to include all of the clips that you just finished watching, primarily because frankly it was very selfishly cathartic for me to compile all of that and reflect on all of that. Right now, the me that is filming this is sort of like in the middle of compiling all of those clips and editing it together. In this moment, this feels like the right thing to do, just to say hello. I suspect that this entire video is very much just selfishly for me and my own edification. This isn't a video that I'm really making with like an audience in mind. I don't really expect other people to watch this. I feel like this is very much just for me. But if there is anyone watching this, in particular, I'm addressing online mutuals, the other like small YouTubers and other creative people online that I had been chatting with more regularly before I kind of fell off the map. In particular, I'm talking to my long distance like friends and people in my personal life who I have kind of been out of touch with. Maybe you're one of the new people that I'm meeting during this new portion of time in my life, and this is your first time here on my YouTube channel, and you're watching this video with sort of a sense of like getting the context for what my last year has been like, and you're realizing like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. To anyone who's watching who might fall in any of those types of categories, I want to thank you for being patient with me. It has been a messy period of time. I am sure that I will continue to stumble, but I'm trying to now move into a portion of time that will be a little less messy personally and in terms of how I'm communicating with people and staying in touch with people. I'm sure that I will continue to experience mishaps and humbling moments. Who's to say if I end up falling off the map again for some period of time moving forward. Thank you just for being patient with me. Everyone who knows me, if you are watching this and you know me, thank you for being patient with me and wherever I'm at. And if you are someone who is watching this video who just stumbled across it as a viewer, this video is definitely also for you. My whole approach to making YouTube videos has always just been, my only motivation is really to try to just make the types of videos that I like to watch. I really appreciate opportunities to watch the videos that other people make, about difficult periods of time in their life, honored by and grateful for the generosity of other people to share whatever they're comfortable sharing about tough times that they're going through. It benefits me to listen to other people reflect on lessons that they're learning or challenges that they're facing. Videos like that make me feel less alone. I'm not going to go into any personal details, but if you need to hear it, I just want to remind you that you are not alone if you are navigating a breakup, if stuff is coming up that makes you question aspects of your sexuality or your gender or your orientation in different ways, if you are dealing with the major life upheaval that is moving to a new place, if you feel stuck in your career or your creativity or your goals for the work that you're trying to do, if you're struggling with money and you don't have the luxury of removing that factor from any of the decisions that you make, and of course, if just mental health struggles often make it feel impossible to survive dealing with any and everything. If any of those topics are applicable for what you are going through right now, me too. Me too. I know that it is hard, and I hope that you are as okay as you can be while you are working through whatever you need to work through right now. So all of that being said about sort of like what has brought me to this point and sort of why I made this video, let's focus on looking ahead. Let's focus on what might be next. Airplane, flying high up in the sky. Why can't I think of any songs about airplanes? Do you know the way to San Jose? That's not really about an airplane. Again, I'm not making this video with any sort of idea in mind of anybody who's watching being particularly invested in like what my plans for the future are. I'm not saying this next part with any sort of idea of like submitting an agenda for audience approval. Rather, just it's helpful, again, selfishly for me, for my mental health, reflect out loud on the goals that I have and the things that I'm planning for myself. To just hold myself accountable is a lot easier when I'm kind of reflecting on it out loud. And it helps me feel more like I have things to look forward to. Because I do. I have things to look forward to. I'm very excited. There's some cool stuff going on. First and foremost, I live in Seattle. I am so grateful for this change. This is huge. This is incredible. I would not have been able to do this without the support, the practical support and emotional support, relational support of some really incredible friends and family in my life that I will just be forever indebted to. Seattle was always my end game. This is a place that I love. This is a place that I always wanted to ultimately put down my roots, and that's what I'm doing now. This is where I'm gonna live and work for the rest of my life. I grew up around here. I have family in this area. As a very like introverted, moody person, nothing makes me happier than like the climate of the Pacific Northwest. Like I just get so much joy from short, dark days and rainy weather and the gray skies and the green trees and the blue water. I'm looking out my window and there's just so much amazing stuff like that to see, and it's very, very good for my brain health to be in this city. This is also just very much my creative home. This is my creative origin story, this place. My earliest acting experiences were doing community theater in these suburbs and spending summers at like Seattle Children's Theater programs and being a teenager doing like Seattle Fringe Festival. I have always loved the creative community in this city. I think that this is a really cool place where people are creating really cool stuff. Really, really thrilled and grateful to be back here and to be kind of settling in and forming new connections and reconnecting with old people, and honestly just like reacquainting myself with like everything that's changed in the 20 years since I actually lived here. So this is a really, really cool time to be able to focus on that. The ultimate goal is going to be to get back into acting. I miss theater. I miss musical theater. That being said though, I mean, in hindsight now, it's easy to be able to look back on the last few years and the excuses that I was making about why I wasn't doing theater. And of course, it's so clear to see now that a lot of it actually just has to do with gender stuff. I'm not at a point yet where I can definitively say I would never ever again want to do a role that would be about being like a mother or a sister. I'm not at the point yet where I can definitively say I only ever want to go for roles that would be like trans mask or like male identifying. I will say that an unavoidable part of being a professional actor has everything to do with how you market yourself to others and with how others perceive you. And I just need a bit more time to reflect on that before I'm going to be able to like confidently walk into an audition room. I need to have a better idea of who I am before I start trying to tell casting directors who I am, you know? If I don't understand it for myself, I can't expect other people to understand it. Airplane, airplane, why do you fly? Oh, there's, 'cause I'm leaving on a jet plane, don't know when I'll be back again. So in lieu of jumping right back into acting, I'm incredibly lucky and grateful to also have a bunch of music creativity in my life as an outlet right now. I've been able to join a community choir that is bringing me a lot of joy. I get to sing tenor in this choir. I hit a low F, and when I tell you I am still riding that wave of serotonin, I will be riding that wave of serotonin for the rest of my life. I just got my permit to start busking at Pike Place Market, which is literally a dream come true. It's something that's been on my bucket list to do for so long. I'm also just incredibly flattered and grateful to have been welcomed into the fold by some local musicians and people that I'm making friends with who are including me in some upcoming gigs, just small things like summer parties and outdoor stuff at bars. So I might start posting some fun clips online of me singing with my ukulele. I might be able to start advertising basically for some invites to hey, I'm gonna be playing at Pike Place this Sunday. Hey, I'm gonna be playing this gig this time for anybody who's local to the area who would want to come see a performance. I am also accepting requests for commission songwriting projects again. So whether you are local to the Seattle area and you would want to commission a singing telegram, in-person experience kind of thing, or if we do not live near each other and you would want an MP3 or a video version of a customized song as a gift or a special occasion type thing, you're welcome to contact me about that if you'd like. ContactChloeThePayne at gmail.com. So that's all the music stuff that I'm excited about, which brings us to, last but not least, the YouTube of it all. I don't anticipate maybe ever again trying to do the consistent weekly uploading. I may not ever try that again. It's certainly not on my immediate agenda to try anything that consistent again, but I'm definitely not done here. I'm not done with YouTube by any means. There are some ideas for reading vlogs that have been in the back of my head to do since 2020. There are video ideas that I had thought I would do for 2023's Vlogtober or Vlogmas season that I obviously never got around to doing. So there's plenty already on my to-do list from past ideas, and then of course who's to say what new random inspiration may strike in the future. I really value the community of small creators on this platform. I really value this platform as a relatively democratized tool for small creators. I really appreciate the opportunity to get a random idea and without running it by anybody, you can just create it and upload it and have that immediate access of self-expression. So this channel is always going to continue to be something that I really value as a small creator. YouTube in general is always going to be an integral part of who I am and how I am wired in terms of being just a cringy, chronically online millennial. Even if I'm not posting as often as I have tried to post in the past, I'm always still gonna come back to this channel, especially when I have moments like this where there's a pretentious ramble that I need to get out of my system. Where else am I gonna put it? It has to go here on YouTube, obviously. What else could I possibly have to say? I think that's it. Really, this talking portion was mainly just to say I'm back, kind of, and thank you for being patient with me, and I'm excited about the things moving forward, and I hope that you're doing okay. So I feel like we talked about all that. Jet, ooh, 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 jet, ooh, ooh, ooh. Leave me a comment below. How are you doing? Is there anything that you are working on, pushing through, a challenge that you're facing, a goal that you're pursuing that I can leave you a hell yeah comment about? Is there anything that you want to talk about in the comments to which I can say, great job, keep going, sweetie, you're doing great? If you want to hang out on the socials, I am at
Editing Chloe here to tune in because past Chloe said my own handle incorrectly. My handle is ChloeThePayne and I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. ChloeThePayne on all socials.
To be entirely honest, my socials these days is mostly Twitter and Tumblr. I'm reposting Star Kid stuff and mental health memes, and that's just about it. Who's to say, maybe one of these days I'll expand those horizons and or start using TikTok and Insta for something fun or professional. Who's to say? You'll never know if you don't join me there. Yeah, all those links are in the description box, along with my website and my email address if you want to contact me about commission songwriting or any other projects or whatever. It's been really helpful for my brain to try to articulate this stuff, to try to put these ideas and these feelings and these reflections into a video, into words. Been very selfishly, helpfully, cathartic, beneficial for me and my brain and my emotions. And for you, I hope that it's been helpful or entertaining or anything of any type of value at all. In any case, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for your time. Until next time, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Are my sleeves uneven because I have terrible posture or because I rolled one higher than the other or something? Symmetry, never heard of it. Existing, being perceived in this economy? Did I get all of the cringe out of my system? Is there any cringe still left within me, or did I purge it all? Maybe now I'll never be cringy again because I got it all out of my system with this video. That's highly improbable. This is an endless well of cringe. This is a bottomless source. If cringe as a renewable resource could save the planet, then I would be a hero. Yeah, I think that's it. Keep going. You're doing great, is what I desperately try to tell myself. We got this.